Hello everyone. It's been a hot minute since we've done one of these because I have depression. Well, actually, it was a depressive episode. I have bipolar. However, I'm heavily medicated and I was only 25% useless and miserable instead of 100% useless and miserable. So today we're going to do a little awful hospital reading and keep up with that, keep going. Fingers crossed. I'm kind of hoping we get some new people because Bogleach, the author himself, retweeted. Do you retweet on Blue Sky? Somebody said something about reskeeting, but I'm not sure if that's the term. All I know is Bogleach himself has noticed me, and Senpai noticed me. Senpai noticed. Senpai noticed me. I can't really do crazy eyes with a VTuber. Action. Wake up. It feels as though you've been falling for days as you burst awake with a jolt. Recent events are foggy and fractured in your memory. The meat factory. The nice barbecue woman. A weird monster you can barely describe. And then? How did you get here again? Poor Miss Green. What's on the TV? No sooner do you notice and think about the fuzzy television than a crackling image begins to flicker in and out of the snow. A familiar pinkish-purple blot with ridiculous Coke bottle glasses. We interrupt your healing and or de-healing processes with special announcement. Today be Joe Day. Just don't A results. Plosive cysts. Thank you. Oh, hi Corlith. Goose afternoon to you as well. Check up on the nurse. Your first order of business is sandwich retrieval, but you need to make sure it's safe to leave the exam hall. You peep into the spleens room to see if the trash nurse is still in there. It seems like an awfully long time has passed, hasn't it? Shouldn't she be done by now? And I just said, why, Mother Concept Being? Why would Queen Nanny Giftus bring me such a thoroughly deceased squemp on this, my only 46 celebrationatings eve? Like the previous 45 times, she silently continued drinking. Little had I realized my true gift in life was an awareness of reality's infantile frivolousness far superior to that of the usual plebeian. It looks like the coast is indefinitely clear. The nurse and the spleen! Go get the sandwich. You don't know why you have such an intense dread as you approach the cafeteria. Nothing else you've seen here has filled you with this kind of anxiety. If only you could remember what happened on the other side of those doors. You can only seem to remember things going well enough, even pleasant. Go get the sandwich. Oh, the cafeteria smells nicer. That's good? Why do you feel like this place is the death of you? Ah, yes, one Joe, please. Your hamburger friend, wasn't he? Is already scooping the last sandwich onto a tray as you approach the counter, tipping his hat, isn't it? And just sort of silently staring at you as you cautiously take the tray, hands shaking and nerves shot for no logical reason. Right? Take the sandwich to the mouth monster. You turn to leave, only to find that the cafeteria doors won't budge. Oh, sorry, kiddo. No food's in the hall. What? Yeah, hands are tied. Couldn't open if I wanted to. You're gonna have to leave it here or finish it. How do patients get their food, then? Beats me, toots. I'm just a door. Put it in your bag. You carefully put the sandwich in your tote bag, temporarily taking something else out. The doors still won't budge. Poor Miss Green, look at her, fed up with this nonsense. Come on, you have no idea what I went through to get this lousy thing. I have no idea what I went through. It just doesn't work that way, lady. Chuck's signature sandwich doesn't leave this zone unconsumed. You know what kind of mess a Sloppy Joe could make out there? Now they care about cleanliness? Not that kind of messy. You're screwing around with some pretty complicated zonal stuff. Too bad you're blind to the undefeatable dinner invasion. A truth power nestles in the meat flesh. The doors bulge inward like an inflating balloon. You hear a sickening throb and begin to feel woozy, only for things to snap right back to normal, such as they were. Is there another door I can talk to, please? Huh? Sorry, spaced off a bit there. Yeah, there's other doors. They're all gonna be me, though. I'm your only ticket out in or out of this zone, whether either of us like it or not, which I do. Feels great to be needed, you know? So what? I possibly literally went to hell and back for nothing? How's the other creepy talking door, no offense, supposed to get a Sloppy Joe? It distinctly indicated it had had one before. Well, I suppose there's always the possibility that I could... Feasting adventure deal! Food magic for a limited always! Cubicle delicious holds the secret to nutritious wealth. Sorry, my bad. That wouldn't work at all. In fact, you'd reverse implode, which is twice as bad as exploding. You might want to remember that for your future zonal shifts. There's only one way out of here with that thing, and you're probably not going to like it near as much as I am. It's really, really funny to me. Oh, Corliff, this is... So are you familiar with Awful Hospital? This is one of my favorite webcomics. I'm hilariously far behind, so I'm rereading the whole thing to catch up. This is Awful Hospital, seriously the worst ever, by Bogleach. You can find him on Twitter. I don't know if he's still on Twitter, but he's definitely on Blue Sky now. I love him dearly. He is brilliantly intelligent, incredibly kind, and deeply, deeply weird. And, you know, that makes him just my type. And I'm reading this comic because I'm forcing everyone else to read it because it doesn't get enough attention. The doors give a pause as though waiting for a response, but you're kind of out of patience. You can easily guess what they're getting at anyway. They're absolutely bent on you eating the sandwich. That's right. Ugh, I forgot you can hear me think. You can't hear thoughts, Goofus. They smell. Yeah, okay, that makes about as much sense, I guess. But come on, you know I can't eat it. What am I supposed to do then? Hack it back up? Oh no, gross. Nothing like that. So, the mouth guy? Forget him. But he has a key I need. No, not him. Your kid. Forget him. Eat your sandwich. You've earned it. Thanks, but that's not gonna happen. Come on, you don't really need him, do you? That puny morsel would barely make a decent slider. What? Shucks, after all we've done for you, we thought you'd at least try eating our special Joe as a healthier, more filling alternative. We made it special. We made it just for you, not some podunk one-way door in the junk layers. To eat. Eat! I should have known. I should have known you things had no idea what I was doing this all for. Aw, don't be that way, Hamhocks. You don't know what you're missing. Look at how happy Gaston's been eating. Pull up a seat. You haven't had a break today. I'll rip you off your hinges if I have to. Eat your sandwich. Have it our way. Open up. Eat your sandwich. Just eat it. Eat it. Eat. Eat. I love Awful Hospital. Cause notice the carrots. I don't know if the sideways carrots are called carrots. That's the command. Cause we don't have a command on this page, but when the chat gives her commands, they come in that form. He, the door, or it, is giving commands directly to Miss Green's brain the way we do. See, we've got the commands. Eat, 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 Miss Green, don't do it. Don't take a bite of that sandwich. Don't do it, Miss Green. Oh, look, see, this is an look, don't eat it. Actually, destroy the door instead, thanks. Don't do it, Miss Green, resist. But the door is drawn all over our comments. Doors ripped from rusty hinges, doors rotting from within, slowly until they fall apart at a touch, dry wooden doors burning in pyres, metal doors heated red hot, twisting, melting, glass doors shattered, irreparable. Ooh, harder. Jerk, nobody. Wouldn't you like to know? Oh, wait a minute. If the door can smell her thoughts, can it detect us too? Wouldn't you like to know? Whoops, my hand slipped. A lot. Double doors? Ignore them. Take your time. You'll love it. And the next one. And the next one. Grow and consume. Feast and expand. Multiply and feed with us in the unstoppable cycle of the flesh concept. The delicious, all-natural truth of organic food matter. All natural, all one, the spiral of the organic, spiraling, organic. Oh, she's not happy. She's not happy. You better not get between her and her kid. Punch! Miss Green, punch! Out of order. Sorry. Oh, it's smiling? It's not smiling anymore. What? What have you done? I can't be out of order. I'm not a door, you idiot! There goes the cafeteria. See if the intestine is okay. Gaston, right? Are you, okay? The intestine makes a rude, flatulent noise and slinks away like an accordion. He's probably fine. Return to the flesh door. Hey, you're back! You brought me something good, right? Sloppy Joe, fresh from the cafeteria. I wrestled another door for it, I think. I don't know what it was. Sloppy who know? Listen, I don't know what a cafeterian is, lady, but I know a meal when I smell it. Oh dear! Oh dear! Hungry door, no! Hey there, soup stuff. You should did a number on all those food dweebs. Hang on. She looks like a smoker. Hey there, soup stuff. You sure did a number on those food dweebs. The interior of the monster smells sulfuric and sour. Your skin tingles unpleasantly wherever it has touched the moist, slick inner tissues. Old, rotting furniture indicates this may have been another examination room or an office. The pale thing hanging from the ceiling speaks in a very deep voice. You remember this voice. It somehow knew you were looking for your son. Great. Did I just do all that for nothing? Heck no. I haven't had entertainment like that in 50, 60,000 layers or so. You should have seen the look on your face when the barbecue kicked you in the keister. How the hell did you even see that? And why do you remember it if your friend doesn't? Oh, I remember all kinds of things I shouldn't. Heck, one of the few things I don't know is how I know so much. Guess I might be hooked up to more than just aura. Aura? That's her name, even if she never remembers she has one. Not too bright, but she bubbles up a mean soup. I'm Lexus. What's your name? Not important. Submit questions and dialogue. You should go to Bogleach's Redbubble, but I also recommended Bogleach's Etsy because he's got some really cool pins, especially if you like Pokemon and skeletons. Conversation mode. I'm being digested, aren't I? Oh, you mean the souping, yeah. I can't wait. I can tell you're gonna be real thick and creamy. Lovely. This is still part of the hospital, right? Oh, sure. Pretty sure, I mean. I know a couple of things have come around again for another souping or two. Good for the layers. Uh-huh. Lexus, what do you know about my son? He's fine, I think. They got him hooked up to some weird stuff in pediatrics where they keep all those other fat little soup wads they never share. You shudder a bit at that last part, but your heart pounds at the prospect of some answers. What else? Please. The little guy in the bow tie was pretty worked up about it. Should have seen the blockhead squawking. Not that I get any of that techie talk. They even brought out the unexistalizer in case things go south. Is that what it sounds like? Search me. They never used it before. Phage fought tooth and nail over it. For a moment you lose control. You have some colorful things to say about the small doctor, and probably throw a thing or two across the room, but you're not really paying attention to yourself. You just kind of let it out a while. A long, awkward silence follows. Yeah, that guy's a massive tool, right? Doubt he'd even superfy any good. You said the key would help me. How? I don't know how, I just know it will. I told you, I know stuff. Do you know the combination to the maternity ward? Have I seen it? Sure, lots of times. Do I know what any of those damn squiggles mean? No. They all look the same to me. I ain't even got eyes, lady. You just said you saw it. The other kind of saw it. Ugh! Nobody here makes any sense. I can't imagine they would to a gray zoner. What's a gray zoner? What's a zone? Oh, that's easy. Just describe what an internet meme is to a shoebox full of moths that can only hear nouns, and you'll probably come up with an analogy that's at least ironically wrong. Shoebox full of moths. Fine, forget it. If I'm going to be here a while, can you tell me anything about Dr. Mann? What's with him and Phage? Ugh, never tasted the greaseball. You never know with those two, really. Phage barely cares enough to perceive the guy, usually. Of course, even Man was completely against the unexistalizer. Said it was unethical. Said it won't work anyway. Pretty sure he was trying to sabotage the thing not long before you last came to. By the way, nice job again. I don't even understand what happened back there. I remember falling? Headlong into the deep fryer. Smelled delicious. How do I keep coming back? That doesn't sound like something you can fix with surgery. Oh, you'll see pretty soon. And what was that thing in the cafeteria? I just remember it in pieces. The doors wouldn't let me leave, and then I don't know. I remember it like I clawed out of a nasty dream, and now the cafeteria is just gone. Sorry, that'd be another one for the moths. The air in here is getting increasingly heavy and humid, reeking of bile. It makes you itch all over and stings your throat and lungs. You know you might wake up again, but you're not particularly looking forward to soupification. Collect items. Before you forget, you grab the key off the rotting desk and shove it into your bag. Acquired! Morgue key. Oh, this is fun. The morgue is my favorite part. You also search the pile of junk for anything interesting. You mostly find garbage and handfuls of pulp that may have once been papers. In one back drawer, though, however, is something resembling a metal file folder. It won't open, but it has what appears to be a keyhole. Acquired. Locked file. Ponder and escape. You don't really care if you keep coming back or not. You plan to do as little dying as possible, and you were never a big fan of being slowly dissolved. Your feet are really starting to sting on the spongy floor. So, I don't suppose you could tell me how long I have before, the soup thing? Huh? 50, maybe 60 layers, I'd say. I have no idea what that means. A whole lot more time than you've been here. Lexus puts an exaggerated, patronizing emphasis on time, as though mocking the very concept. Can I ask what happens to, the leftovers? The waste? It comes back out the same way it went in. Doesn't yours? Sure, why not? How do you feel about polyps, by the way? Stomach polyps? Well, I don't smell any, thanks goodness, but we aren't fans, to put it mildly. Now a colorectal polyp, smooth and sweet, fatty too, goes straight to my waist, just the way I like it. You could swear for a moment you hear something hiss like a cat from the general vicinity of where your tote bag tends to manifest. You know, funny thing, Aura said she had no idea you were here. Well, her brain's not what it used to be. Not that it was ever stellar. She can't even remember she has a name half the time. About all she used to remember was the cafeteria food before somebody hilariously trashed the place. It was all she ever talked about. Lexus, will it ever be Sloppy Joe Day again? Mysterious voice with no name I'm aware of. Do you think they have Sloppy Joes right now? Mom, where are my legs? What a big dummy. You don't really want to hurt these creatures if there's any way out peacefully, but your options seem to be dwindling, and you're very quickly feeling weak. It's not just the vapors that sting. Oh dear, something wrong? I love Bog Leech's art. The juxtaposition of Miss Green's simple, harmless, no pointed edges, no points, no sharp edges, cartoony style, with the sometimes hyper-realistic, like, Lexus is exactly what a tapeworm would look like as a person. Unless that's a different kind of worm. Do tapeworms hook into the intestines that way? And she's in a stomach, not an intestine. Anyway, she's a beautiful representation of a parasite. Dizzy. Really dizzy. Yeah, that's the neurotoxin, sorry. You said I had time. Until your hot, frothy stew, sure. You just won't be awake for it. Nothing personal, they just tend to get a little violent near the end. Especially when they know they won't come back. We gotta eat too, you know. You begin to reach for your weapon, but you only stumble a little. You don't even care. Very suddenly feels like there's nothing more important than just lying down and sleeping. Bye-bye. Your mind is screaming to get back up and fight your way out, but you don't. Your consciousness fades and you feel like you're floating away to some other place. Green! It's all green! Oh, we're getting another flashback. She taking her son to the doctor? Oh, he looks bumpy. She's calling another doctor. She's trying to feed him. And she's not the only one there. Who is it standing over the cradle? Oh dear, something's coming. Something is coming. It's gone now. Is this what the child sees through his sickness? Or is this some other interpretation? Is this another zone? I know a little bit more about zones than you do, so hopefully no spoilers. Creatures. Creatures from other zones. Are they dangerous? Or are these perhaps just other mothers trying to take care of their child in the only way they know how? That's one juicy looking pooch. When's lunch? Are you sure that's what it is? I thought their dogs and their offspring were two different things. It's the Gray Range, Doc. It's all dog. All of it. Delicious. In, your perception, perhaps. The gray is more subjective than the true perception range. Oh, here we go. Mr. Theory of the Day calendar. The, word you intended was hypothesis, but there are no mere hypotheses. All that can be imagined already must exist in one perception or another, or, nothing else could exist that would ever conceive of it. In fact, the, gray itself may serve as... whatever, guys, just fill its holes in, or drill some holes. Drill it some holes and fill them in. It'll be fine. Didn't it come with its progenitor? Why don't we just stick it back where it came from? Problem solved. We don't even know what to call this problem yet, do we? If we were dealing with a husk shuffler or something from the pseudo-seething, we could at least work backwards from its slime warble and trace its bore patterns. But this is unprecedented. This is independent of the thing's very core. It could spread. It could have already spread, and we would never even know. Keep watch and suspect activity. Remember your oath. Cure, contain, or erase. Cure, contain, or erase. Cure, contain, or erase. Oh, there's a door. There's Aura. Oh, Miss Green? Miss Green's still alive? Oh, what happened here? Oh, dear. Oh, that's not good. Sorry, Aura. That's not good at all. Collect yourself. Take stock of your things. You've woken up outside of Aura, and it appears she appears to have been torn completely out of her chamber. There's no trace of Lexus either. The last thing you remember clearly was Lexus talking about nerve toxin. Ass. You remember your conversation, but how much of that can you even believe? You had dreams? You don't remember what they were, but you feel emotionally drained and overwhelmingly anxious. The blood trails up the wall behind you and stains the ceiling, but there are no openings in sight, nowhere for anything to have come or gone that you can find. Aura's acidic fumes didn't have time to do much. The damage to your skin isn't much worse than a light sunburn, though your gown is a bit tattered and your throat stings. Your bag is fine. On close inspection, you can hear the kidney stone and the polyp thing slumbering away. They seem to be taking turns, snoring a little song. It's the worms crawl in. Of course it is. The worms crawl in, the worms crawl out, the worms play pinochle on your snout. Oh, I need a sip of water. Woo-wee. Hydration. How long have we been doing this? Doing all the voices is quite tiring, so this will probably only be about 45 minutes to an hour, but, just for that guy on YouTube who commented about people starting Awful Hospital and not finishing it, I have to finish it. Check on Dr. Mann. The doctor is back to standing in place, staring silently at the bricks on the other side of his window, in the dark. Better leave him be. You have questions, but the doctor's heavy breathing sounds almost like he's sleeping, standing up. It's more than a little unwholesome. Maybe later. Head for the morgue! Back in the lobby, your skin crawls at the sight of a cryptic banner above an oozing crack in the wall. There's no mistaking the stink of the red liquid dribbling to the floor. Ketchup! I love ketchup. I used to eat ketchup sandwiches. I still do sometimes. It reminds me of childhood. 200th page fan art gallery! Where's my son? Bad hospital! And here's all this fan art. I should draw some fan art. I love this. Why does she have Miku hair? Who gave her Miku hair? Look at all this art. Ooh, pixels. Pixel art, as if it were a game. It is a game. It's all a game. Continue to the morgue. It looks like the line to the surgery ward has moved exactly once since you last saw it. Great! You can't even find a keyhole on the red door, but it begins to hum as you take the key out of your bag. The door swings open, revealing an elevator with a rock floating in it. Hi there! Checking in? Wait, wasn't this a morgue? I even looked through the window. I don't know about a morgue, lady, but I can take you to the morgue. What was your name again? Wait, never mind. I got your floor. Hop in. Hey, how about some music? This is my jam. As the elevator smoothly descends, you feel an escalating sense of foreboding. What else is new? The stone slab is sweet and kind. Some of the people in this series are so wonderful and kind, despite their horrifying appearances. Just when it seems as though the elevator ride may never end, the door, oddly hinged, creaks open on its own, dumping you off in a cramped, dark, and very long hallway. Right this way. Don't mind the worms. They're just here to crawl in and out of stuff. You know worms. Actually, what were you here for again? Did we talk about that? My memory's a little dusty. This is our first sight of worms. Bogleech and worms. I can't wait to discuss worm lore with you. You guys are gonna love worm lore. Worm lore. Worm lore. Worm lore. Conversation mode. Oh, I'm looking for something. Well, we've got an awful lot of somethings here. Real weirdies. Leg havers. Kinda like you, legs. How much like me? I don't know, the stiffs all look alike to us anyway. Like a paycheck. Ha ha! You don't really know for sure what you're looking for. Thankfully, you've seen enough evidence that your son isn't here, and you're not letting yourself doubt that just yet. So, anyway, someone sent me here with a weird key. I thought it would open that red door, but I never did see a lock. It just kind of vibrated a little and... Whoa, whoa, you don't mean a red keychain? Who trusted you with that? Never mind. Not my business. Not like you could have stolen it or anything. I know what you're here for. You're not sure how to respond without raising suspicion. Luckily, he doesn't push any further. The hall takes a few sharp twists, but nothing too difficult to remember. The walk is long, the worms are becoming more abundant, and the dead silence, broken only by your footsteps and their soft, moist seething, is beginning to get to you. So, pretty big morgue for a hospital. There's that, again. You're from the gray zones, aren't you? I knew they had their quaint little pseudo-hospitals, but morgues too? Guess there's always more leakage than you expect. I still don't really get what any of that means. Nobody will explain it to me. Yeah, you wouldn't, and they probably can't. Don't worry about it. Stick to what you think is normal and you'll be fine. For me, the morgue is normal. We all belong to our respective Class 9 auto-perceptual omni-material repeating concept spirals, like the hospital, or the school, or the sewer, or the hand factory, or the frog hotel. Watch out for that one. Yeesh. Right. This might be a personal question, but are you alive? Everything's alive. What else is there to be? Something dead, right? I mean, that's what, the morgue is for, isn't it? It's full of dead things, right? Please? A body's just a bunch of different stuff in one place, legs. All that changes is which part eats and which parts get eaten. Your conversation trails off as you continue navigating the labyrinthine morgue. You want to ask exactly where this strange, stony creature is leading you, but he seems to believe that you already know, and it doesn't feel wise to risk breaking your cover. You just hope you'll be able to find your way back, because you've taken far too many turns to ever keep track of. How long have you been walking? It feels like this place goes on forever. Pac-Man reference! Here we are. I know this place like the backs of my hands. You're getting really tired of staring at the back of a rock's creepy eyeballs by the time it unlocks the strange room. You seize up as you take in the new surroundings, but you're still afraid to ask any suspicious questions, especially now. Well, I certainly don't need to tell you how this all works, not if you're authorized to be here, obviously. I'll be outside. Scream if anything breaks out. You say nothing as the creature floats back out into the labyrinth, leaving you alone with a river of worms. And your own front door. Your own crappy, ugly apartment door. The bland, almost ironic sign a previous tenant left behind, and you just never got around to changing. The cracks where some jackass tried to break in one night. Why? The worms crawl in, the worms crawl out, the worms play pinochle on your snout. And you could see his eyeballs show through the back of his head. Take inventory. You're going to try opening your door last and wait for an emergency before you ask the rock for help. Maybe you can figure out what you're supposed to do in here. At the center of the room is a large vat of transparent maroon jelly that doesn't look at all the way bloodwood. Guys, come on! Everybody thought it was blood. Ice-cold air flows off of it. There are 36 drawers in the walls for holding bodies, including some on the wall you entered through, which you're pretty sure was only inches thick, but you're getting used to that kind of thing. Worms proceed in an almost orderly fashion through the entryway into the opposite door, back out again, and disappear into the vents along the ceiling. Left of the door is a large switch with its own keyhole. It appears to be in an off position. Beneath the switch is some sort of monitor. A large power cable seems as though it's meant to connect this panel with the jelly tub. To the right of the door is what looks like a chute to an incinerator. Incinerator, body drawers, monitor, switch, cable, door, worms, jelly, Miss Green. Further investigation. Your door seems to be locked, and nobody responds to knocking. You're not even sure who would be there, but it made sense to check because nothing else ever does around here. Your red key seems to match the keyhole next to the big switch. You're not sure if you want to try it yet. You direct a few hellos at the stream of worms. A big purple one momentarily raises its head in your direction, only to roll its eyes and return to whatever it was doing. You get no further reactions. You poke the jelly with your stick. It's firm and rubbery, like a gelatin dessert. It smells like vinegar. The incinerator door opens into a long, dark chute. The overall smell of the room is musty, sour, and acidic. It is definitely the smell you expected of dead bodies in various states of preservation. Open a drawer. Curiosity is getting the best of you, but you can't stop shaking as you reach for the nearest drawer, tightly gripping your weapon in your other arm. Most of the things you've spoken to lately should not have been alive. What nonsensical horrors do they consider dead? Get ready! Get ready! Might as well get it over with. You yank the drawer open in one swift motion. Well, doesn't that just beat all? Open more drawers. You don't remember this happening, did it? Ugh. Ugh. Oh dear. Oh dear. I remember this one. I remember this one. The stone slabs keep repeating themselves in your mind. 2 words in particular. Your floor. You think about the winding maze just outside, rows and rows of drawers. You've seen giant eyeballs teeming with lice, held a conversation with an intestinal parasite, and been giggled at by splattered brains, but you're not sure you felt quite this ill for a long time. Did you die this many times? Are you going to? Are they only possibilities? Parallel lives? Is there any way to know? Hey there, Exhaust! Welcome! This is episode 3 of my Awful Hospital stream. I've read a big chunk of it before. I got distracted, and then now I'm back, and I'm going to read the whole thing, and now I'm forcing y'all to come along with me, because Awful Hospital deserves more attention. Look at the key card. Look for that key card? A lot of strange priorities are popping into your head, but somehow you feel positive you need to get the surgeon's ID that you saw earlier, and you're pretty sure you know which you died with it. No big deal, right? You did something like this in college. You try to make it quick. You don't want to get any more personal with your own corpse than you need to, but bringing yourself to damage your own dead body is harder than you might have even thought. And besides, the slightest scratch seems to close up instantaneously. Even the gown. It all regenerates so quickly you may as well be trying to carve water. The body is remaining in exactly the condition it died in. Put a worm in the jelly. You slide your indestructible dead doppelganger back into the wall for now, and with your glorious crystalline saber, you scoop up a worm and drop it in the jelly. A really awful looking one that keeps making terrible flatulent noises with its mouth. What a dreadful, ghastly, heinous worm. You are trying really hard to pretend you hate the innocuous but disturbing creature in case something bad happens to it. You've had enough moral crises for the day. The worms change in every panel, which means Bogleach drew each and every one of these little fuckers. The thing slowly sinks into the jelly and continues to wiggle in slow motion. At least you know it isn't acid. The worm sort of hangs out in there while you plug the cable in. There's a shutter from the door, but it remains locked anyway. The monitor starts monitoring whatever whatever reading it's getting from the terrible, terrible worm. Put the corpse in the jelly. Still not sure what you're really doing here, you let the mind chatter take over for a moment. You carefully remove the worm from the jelly vat and haul your dead body with the snapped neck back out of its drawer. It's all cold and clammy to the touch. Great, you sure did do this. The apartment door shutters again and then emits a soft, continuous hum. The computer readout continues to do its thing, even though your body is definitely not twitching or breathing or hungering for flesh as far as you can tell. Use your key. The red key you retrieved from Aura fits only in the slot next to the switch, which currently can't be budged. You hear something powering up in the walls as you turn it. You are now able to flip the switch. The light changes to bright green, and so do the lights on the jelly tub. For a while, nothing happens. Your corpse continues to lie in the tub, motionless. Softly, you hear the locks of the apartment door click open. First the deadbolt, then the knob. Nothing further happens. Open the door carefully. This can't be a door back home, can it? And did the machine unlock it, or is there someone on the other side? A person? A monster. You brandish your blade, turn the knob, and pull. Nothing? Nothing again! You don't even hear the weird noises you heard from the exit door. The worms are just vanishing into the darkness. Where the hell are they going? This is bullshit. Run for your deaths! It's the Revourer! You're welcome. Shove. Well, at least he's helpful. It's me you want, you yellow son of a You feel yourself falling in slow motion, the door already long out of reach. Getting angry always feels a lot better than raw terror, and boy, are you ever pissed off that you keep getting literally pushed around like this. Now, moments after confronting your own gruesome death, you're drifting aimlessly in an impossible void of all-consuming blackness. Ugh, that is enough to make you just plumb steamed. Hang on a second. Screenshotting this. Keeping that for later. You drift for some time and finally land on damp, mushy ground. Despite the darkness, your surroundings are clearly visible, as though the humid, sour air itself is dimly luminescent. Vast shapes slither in the distance. You feel very small. Welcome to one of my favorite parts of Awful Hospital. This part is so much fun. You're going to meet some of my favorite characters. So, here you are, stranded in some kind of sticky worm jungle, the only known exit apparently suspended in nothingness miles above. At least the worms seem to mostly be ignoring you for now. What next? Go north. Boy, does this place smell funny. At least there are some signs of civilization? Talk to the worms. The worms do not respond to questioning and continue slowly slinking about their wormy business. Worm lore, worm lore, worm lore. Look at the signpost. Yeah, this is helpful. Investigate the wooden chest. You're torn between your choices, but the little voices in your head are urging you slightly more to look at the big box before you check the cave or the pathways. You cautiously approach the box, and it bursts from the ground. Dummy! They totally called it. None too genre-savvy, are you? Who would really leave a beautiful, handsome box in a crummy paste like this? I'm gonna eat you up. You reach into your disappearing tote bag and pull out, apologized, non-functionate in an every zone. Thank you. Kept your crap in a multi-zonal bag, huh? What did you think would happen? Next time, drag a nice chest around. I'm being rhetorical. There won't be a next time because I'm going to bite you into several pieces, which will kill you, and then I'm going to swallow them and digest them for food. Yeah, for the record, a regular greeting for all of us is still, "Hey, what's up?" Run to the cave. The yammering serpentine trunk is fortunately rather slow compared to yourself. You dash for the mysterious hole with the welcome mat, feeling confident that an enclosed space would hinder the huge thing more than yourself. But the worm does not, in fact, pursue you inside. You hear it stop just short of the entrance. "It can be hazardous to venture unassisted. Perhaps I can offer you an implement to mitigate the substantial risk factor?" Charlie, I swear to Nurgle, if you're offering implements in there, so help me. Accept offer. Okay, sure, whatever you got. This ought to teach him a thing or two. Acquired, sharpened pipe. Confront the chest worm. You thank the big pile of meat or whatever it is, and charge out of the cave with your new weapon. Time for combat! You rear back, preparing to thrust at the faux wood serpent with your deadly shaft. Pfft, whatever. You're not even worth my time. The monster slinks away, head-like region indignantly held high. Now what? Go west. You would rather not fight when you don't have to, so you let the wooden trunk slink off. The mental chatter is all over the place, but you're not sure how well you can trust whatever left the signpost. But you feel like taking your chances with the western, happy face path. It goes on uneventfully for some time before opening up into another split. There seems to be a few more signs posted. A poorly spelled warning and another happy face pointing to the left. A deep furrow in the slimy hillside ahead looks drier and harder than the surrounding gunk, almost like a staircase. To your right, a strange glow emanates from a forest of what look only moderately like trees. Climb the mountain. You hike up the winding gorge in a spongy, moist heap of fungus, or whatever it is. From its peak, you can see you're in more of a cave-like environment, with a ceiling of the same green-gray mush. You can't see far into the darkness. Sir, non-native bioform detected at unauthorized checkpoint. It's probably another. Subject does not appear to be a tourist, not with that many heads. It's not a dolphin, is it? No, sir, nothing triggered the decapitoids. Oh, fine, move aside, nincompoop. I'm sure it's just... Oh dear. That's not right at all. Continue west. The western, or happy path, continues until it reaches a large open area. Welcome, welcome, we've been expecting you. Do come in, don't you? No time to waste. Yeah, urgent business. We've got a selection of fine cheeses. Oh boy, you think. What nightmare circus act have you bumped into this time? Okay, I've got to come up with good voices for these characters, because this guy right here, I love this guy. You're gonna love him too. Who are you? Oh, of course. Excuse my lack of manners. I'm Dr. Everton Mortius Balmer, head biovessel archivist, licensed in all biopositive matter zones. These are my associates, Mr. Methanil and Miss Hyde. Ma'am? Pleased to meet ya. The metal thing, Dr. Balmer, speaks from a thick glass tank situated where a head might be, metallic lid flapping and fluid bubbling with every syllable. The little things have a thick English and a Bronx accent, respectively, with a buzzing, vibrating quality. None make any move towards you, but despite the lack of recognizable facial features, you somehow get the unmistakable impression that they are smiling very hard. We've little time to waste. You simply must come into the lab with us. Why, the fate of this very world hangs in the balance. Dr. Everton Mortius Balmer. I love Dr. Balmer. What urgent business exactly? Goodness me, we can't discuss that here. Oh, how I'm loath to imagine what ghoulish biological riffraff could be slithering about in earshot. No doubt you've seen your share of ravenous beasts gnawing their vile way through these majestic plains. Horrid, horrid, all of them. Yeah, no offense, I haven't had a very positive track record listening to anybody lately. I'm pretty sure I've been dead anywhere between 3,000 and 3,000 times now. I have no idea what this place is, why I'm here, or how, and I need to get back to what I was doing as quickly as possible, so I'm not going anywhere until I know exactly how far I can trust you versus how far I can throw you. And if I have to, I'm fully willing to test that myself. Not a cheese person, I take it. We have a fine selection of alcoholic Lead the way. You cautiously follow the beings inside their facility, built into something that looks distressingly like a giant body organ. Though that probably doesn't mean much of anything, since the same can be said around half the people you've been holding conversations with lately. Right? The little ball creature brings you a remarkably normal-smelling, normal-tasting beer before disappearing down some side hall. You've never been a drinker, but you really earned this. You try to pretend you're more interested in what the machine is saying as it waddles down the hall, the clanking of its bottom corners awkwardly distracting from its ongoing babble. So, clank where, clank were, clank we. Ah, yes, inert subconcept vessel MG0908BN SK/HL TAC 39004 38093 is in grave jeopardy. Hang on, do I have any metal? I can do Foley work. Hang on. How do I have something clanky? We've narrowly oh, that's too high pitched. I need something heavier. I don't have any, Where's something I can use for sound effects? Sound effects! Oh, here we go. I've got something perfect. We've narrowly managed to preserve a prior iteration, but I fear this magnificent microcosm and thousands like it are beginning to resist sterilization. Why, in all my layers of biovessel archivism, I can't rightfully say I recall such a ghastly contamination level. Oh, the horror and the delicious horror of it all. This way to the observation deck. Okay, I hope you were able to hear that because I put effort into the authenticity of my sound effects. You follow closely, silently praying for the thing just to get where it's going and stop walking. Conversation mode. You do your best to ignore the loud banging as Dr. Everton clanks his way along the metal floor. So, just where are we anyway? I told you, inert subconcept vessel MG TAC 0908 TAC BN/SK/HL TAC 390438088093990. I'd ask what that means, but I'm pretty sure I already know, and I think I'd rather stay only pretty sure while I can. What's all this about decontaminating? What else would we do? We exist to ensure that post-biological subconceptual microzones are thoroughly decontaminated and indefinitely preserved for archival, educational, and licensed recreational purposes. Can your feeble head stuffings even fathom the delectable horror of an entire perception zone simply rotting away to nothing? Devoured from within by insatiable vermin. Oh, the very thought of it tickles my wires with such decadent revulsion. How excitingly abominable. Recreational purposes? Oh, you know, spelunking, surfing, dampened membrane competitions, tourist season. Not a fan myself, but it keeps us in open conceptual circulation with the other valuable zone layers. I see. Is your zone part of the hospital? Hospital? Harumph! Harumph is what I say to that. To that hospital. A wasteful diversion from our beautiful archives. That's what that is. Why delay the inevitable? So, not a fan of somebody named Dr. Phage, are you? That dashing nincompoop? Harumph! Harumph is what I say to that. I need a sip of water. This voice is taxing. If it only had ambition in its irresistible head, we could have achieved zonal amalgamation cuboids ago. imbecile! What business does that short-sighted fool have being so attractive? Right, okay, whatever all that means. I have some pretty serious business with those guys. How do I get back? Back? Oh dear, I'm afraid nobody's going anywhere if we can't sort out our little dilemma. We're on a tight lockdown. Nothing going in, nothing out. Of course, that jeopardy you were on about? Indeed, and we've just reached the observation level, right on schedule for a status update. At the end of the hall, a towering metal door begins to slide open. Ooh, check it out. This vast space houses an assortment of beeping, warbling machinery. More little molecule guys, or whatever they are, scurry from one curious electronic readout to the next, burbling incoherently. A bubbling pit of swirling chemicals dominates the center of the room, reeking like a long-expired jar of pickles. Delicious. I love pickles. Hyde, status update. Sorry, boss. We still can't get a bearing on it. Blast, it could be anywhere. What could be anywhere? Oh, well, usually our job goes quite smoothly. We phase in, assess the active biota spectrum, formulate a precise decontamination mixture, purge all bioforms, and submit the vessel for its final analysis by the Slab Council. Unfortunately, ever since these biovessels began pouring and pouring in, a veritable avalanche of inert biomass flooding the morgue to its near bursting point. I get it. Ahem. Yes, well, this recent influx has begun to present difficulties, anomalies, contaminants that should not be compatible with biomatter of this nature. We're detecting a quasi-material, paraconceptual, and even anti-vibrational wavelengths as deep as the subseething in some cases, and our current paradox may even carry traces of hose warblation. I have no idea what any of that means. It means there is a bad thing polluting this environment, madam. A bad thing so contrary to the matter law that you would be familiar with, it could very well thrive under conventional decontamination procedures. Unless, of course, we can correctly identify a sample and adapt our formulation. One miscalculation, one pseudo-protein away from perfection, and this entire vessel could undergo a Category D extra Paisley reconfiguration event. The chaos, the exquisite madness. I'm simply swooning with unimaginable terror. Yes. Okay. So you don't know where that thing is, or you don't know what this thing is, or where it is, but you know it's here somewhere, and you know it could be a huge liability. Humph. To phrase it so unpoetically, yes. So how long is this going to take exactly? Well, clean up that rather unsavory diet of yours, and you could easily remain biofunctional by the time our algorithm coordinates the Well, clean up that rather unsavory diet of yours, and you could easily remain biofunctional by the time our algorithm coordinates a precise lock. Then again, maybe there's another one of you things roaming about. The next generation or so could help us retreat. What? Well, there's no need to shout. There is another possibility. It's a long shot, but I suppose if you're willing to risk grisly destruction at the slavering maws of horrendous... Just point me in a general direction. Everton leads you down a side hall, floor mercifully rubber padded this time. So Everton's mouth is up here, but his eyes are down here. But I always think of his gauges as boobs more than eyes. Like he's looking, like you can see his pupils are the arms. What's that part of a dial called? So, from what we know, there's an organized community of contaminoids to the east, assuming you've missed my clearly marked warning signs, and we have reason to believe the savages may know the rough whereabouts of our anomaly. I don't dare fathom the wonderful disaster in store for us should they figure out how to weaponize it. We're fortunate the slimy devils are so brainless. Unfortunately, they're at least clever enough to know our operations are at odds with their vulgar feeding habits, and I shudder to imagine what lovely demise would await us if we made direct contact with the unsanitary vermin. But you're different. Obviously, you would smell like you belong to the same habitat. They would never recognize the likes of you as an intruder. You stand a quite reasonable chance of getting the information we need and retrieving the anomaly with perhaps only marginal appendage loss at worst. Find the anomaly, bring it back to us for destruction, and we can lift our little quarantine. We'll have you back in that dreadful medical facility, truly not the best, I must say, in no time at all. Great, I think I got it, but, you're not just gonna send me out here with, part of a pole, are you? I mean, you have some pretty fancy gadgetry going on here. Oh, of course, we've got just the thing for such a critical mission. Everton hands cables you a large, heavy satchel. It's no disappearing, reappearing tote bag, but it'll do. There is text emblazoned proudly across its outer flap. Acquired! My first junior biovessel explorer's kit for babies! With a final farewell, Everton sends you off. Oh yeah, he also handed you a map. Friends, horrible ghastly death woods, filthy monsters, go here. Love, Dr. Everton. Ghastly death woods. You're not afraid of some spooky forest, and you don't have the time to take the long route. You march straight into the glowing, foggy blue forest of huge, fungus-like growths. Turn back. No. Boo! Stop! Read poster. Known territory of horrendously disgusting monstrosity in dreadful unfathomable hat. Do not be fooled by its... It looks a lot like Everton's drawing style. The rest has been torn off. Follow danger signs. Your destination appears to be the northeast through these woods. If Everton's crude map is a good enough approximation, you tiptoe quietly past the sleeping worm, which stirs a bit but continues snoring loudly. Doom! Rest in peace, you. Investigate the green liquid. You sneak carefully by the suspiciously happy, daisy-faced worm and arrive at a bubbling, filthy-smelling river, teeming with unsavory annelids. Worms! Can you get across? You do feel lightweight in this place, but not enough to confidently leap across the wide river. You'd probably get sucked under by some giant monster anyway. Grapple the tree? Your grappling hook only looks about half as long as the river's width. You consider lengthening the rope with something, but when you test the nearby trees, you find them to be very soft and spongy. Now you're not even sure the tree over there would hold either. Jump off a worm? You don't think that's a risk you're willing to try just yet, unless a worm is willing to cooperate. You call out to see if any of the worms might be both intelligent and friendly enough. You can't tell which worm shouted, "Up yours!" but it's the only response you get, besides what sounds like snickering from another one. How far does the river go? It continues as far as you can see in both directions. Maybe you can find a place to cross, but you'll still have to go through more forest. Can you swim it? You are 99% sure you're looking at a river of pus. You are not swimming it. Follow the doom path. You leave behind the river for now and try following the path with all the warning signs. It takes you deeper and deeper into the slimy, luminous jungle of fungus. Your spongy footfalls are the only sound in this cold, misty surroundings. Even worms are absent. But you don't feel alone. Watch out, Miss Green! Maybe this was a bad idea. Maybe you should have taken the long way around the forest. You stop for a moment and consider your options when suddenly, something leaps from the fog. Insolent wormkin! You trespass in the sacred grove of Lady Celia, bandit princess! Relinquish your keratin and you may live to share the tale of your humiliating surrender and my fantastic hat with the rest of your fell brood. Lady Celia wields a sword that looks like carved from the same translucent woody substance as the ominous signpost you've been seeing. Did she say keratin? Is that what they use around here? Gross. She doesn't come any closer, but she keeps hopping back and forth, doing a sort of showy little dance and swishing her blade around dramatically. You think she might be making the swoosh noises herself. Maybe you can reason with her? She can't be completely barbaric. That is a very fancy hat. Hang on just one second. I'm going to try and mute myself while I snort obnoxiously. Whew. Actually, I should blow my nose properly. Give me a second. Mucus while reading Awful Hospital. How fitting. Lady Celia! Engage conversation. Your instincts are imploring you to be diplomatic about this. Celia might be helpful if you soften her up enough. Listen, I don't want any trouble. I'm just passing through, and I think I'm a little lost. A common worm! Lies must come easy with a repulsive mouth hole to fall out from. I'm not a worm, I'm a human being. Don't patronize me. You're clearly of the animalia, bilaterally symmetrical, multicellular, with a tubular body plan. Worms are spineless. I have a whole skeleton. I have arms and legs. Oh, who invented those distinctions? Your species? A worm by any other name. Swish! Celia takes an especially showy swing of her sword, lopping off a nearby branch of fungus. It would be more impressive if you didn't know how mushy that stuff is. Fine, whatever. I really don't want to fight, semantic or otherwise. I just want to get out of here. I need to get back to my child, and I've been sent on some sort of stupid errand before they'll let me leave. Ah! Enough talk! Prepare yourself for thrilling combat with the ravishing princess of Wait, errand? What kind of errand? I'm supposed to find some sort of... I don't know what it is. I just... Find something? You don't mean... You're fetching something? Are you? I guess? Would you say this errand to fetch something might also be considered a quest? A quest to fetch something? Sure. If Celia had eyes, you could swear they just lit up. Tell your tale in appropriate lingo. So this fungus calls herself a princess and wants to know about your quest. But you're not so sure she's a fan of Dr. Balmer if she even knows who that is. Maybe you just have to explain this in the right way. What manner of quest interests a worm? I don't belong here. I got here from a very different world, and I don't even belong there either. I just want to go home, but a wizard won't send me back without finding his, treasure! Of course! You seek a magnificent treasure. Yeah, you could say that, I guess. The, wizard couldn't really tell me what it is, what I was looking for. Secret treasure? My very specialty. You got it. So secret he couldn't even tell me where the hell to look, either. A challenging venture indeed. No wonder you dared seek my legendary expertise. Your resolve is most admirable for a mere worm. Right, yeah, he did suggest I could find some sort of community out east of here. Do you know what he could have meant? Of course, I know it well. Alas, you will never find a more loathsome nest of riffraff and knavery. You have chosen your companionship wisely. So you'll show me the way? Naturally. Not for free, mind you. Oh, right. Keratin, was it? Is this worth much? You bring the monster's attention to your hair. At least the back poof. That's what I smell. What kind of beast grows keratin from flesh? Now I know you're no normal worm. It's all yours if you can help me get out of here. Such unwormly generosity. You have my word both as a royal and a rogue. Celia has joined the quest. Okay, it's been about an hour, and this is a good stopping point. We've just met Celia. Hang on, let me go back one. Let us get a screenshot of Celia, so that I have something to post. I like posting on Blue Sky. You should follow me on Blue Sky. I'm Salmonella VT. You should check out everything I post on Blue Sky because I post inane nonsense all the time. Anyway, thank y'all for joining me. I'm trying to get back into streaming. I've been kind of unreliable about it lately, so keep an eye out for next time I stream. I always post on Blue Sky. Yes, see, I love the subconcept zone. I love the subconcept zone arc. It's one of my favorites. We're gonna have so much fun. And since we're here now, I'll have a motivation to do another stream. So, who knows? I'm probably sometime next week. My work schedule is unreliable, and I am not healthy enough to do a stream and work in the same day. That will drain my energy entirely. So don't expect me to do a stream on a day I have work, but if I continue and have plenty of days off, I should be able to stream again. And if Bogleach himself has noticed me, I really do have to finish this. Be sure to check out YouTube. I will be posting this on YouTube. Find my YouTube. I'm Salmonella there as well. Check out my link tree. It's in my links on my About page. Give me a follow. And always, well, if you want to. Yes, thank you for joining me. I love having new friends. And next time we will continue our quest. Bye.